So I once again welcome you all for joining in for today's session. Myself, Gaurav Kumar Jain, President, Merit Management Association. My heartful welcome to everyone who has joined us. I came to know that we have a few international participants this time. Someone from Moscow, a professor lady from Moscow has joined in today. It's been a pleasure to have her on this platform. Thanks to the digital transformation that we're going through nowadays. And before taking much of your time, and I think people are more interested in listening to Professor Jagdish Khatriji. I think so. When we talk about discovering yourself, I think so. Professor Jagdish Khatri is a great example of the change and the strength he has shown today. I regret, Khatriji, I am about to share some personal information regarding your family, which I am not supposed to. You all might not be aware of the fact that Mr. Khatri is going through some hard time as of now. His wife is in ICU from last few days, and he's sitting with us on this session. I really hats off to you. I don't know what kind of caliber and what kind of dedication he has to his work. And really give me a goosebumps. Khatri, you won't believe and trust me. It's really hard to face you at this point of time because I think through numerous conversations, we're always trying to request you to if we can postpone the event, take care of your family, and Professor Jagdish is always reluctant to go ahead and do it. Let's see the situation tomorrow morning, this day. I am really have no words to thank you for giving us an opportunity so that we can listen to you without taking much of your time and hardly without taking much of the introduction about Merit Management Association and Gwalior Management Association. This program is organized in association with the Gwalior Management Association and Merit Management Association. From both the association, I heartily welcome you all, and especially to Professor Jagdish Khatriji for giving us an opportunity so that we can share his views on discovering ourselves. And with this, I would like to welcome Jagdish and request you to please enlighten us with your thoughts regarding this change.
Merit Management Association is a professional non-profit body affiliated to All India Management Association with the aim to promote scientific management in industry and trade. It also undertakes training and consultancy to improve managerial effectiveness and competitiveness of its members. Merit Management Association, formed in 1966, is registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860. The founder members of the association were Shri K.N. Mohan, Managing Director, Mohan Meekins Breweries, Shri Sultan Singh Jain, Managing Director, Saru Smelting, and Shri R. Sahi, General Manager, Dorala Sugar Works.
Thank you very much. I am thankful to GMA and MMA and Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Management College for giving me this opportunity to share my views, subject that is so dear to me. So I would like to share screen. So we are discussing discover yourself, and you all must be wondering why SCLF is written like that self. So that we will come to know after a few slides only. You might be knowing that this is published Cover Yourself, a guide, popular, and it has been translated into Russian language also, and in Polish language also so far, and is likely to be translated into several other European languages. Now, this presentation is not to promote the book. This is to just discuss central idea behind this book. And before we come to that, let us take some hard questions. Was the world there before we came on this planet? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes, it was there. दुनिया हमसे पहले भी थी और हमारे जाने के बाद भी रहेगी.
Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
it? Huh? The world will be there when we cease to exist on this planet. Then the question arises, what difference are we making by our presence? What purpose is being served by our existence on this planet? Why did God send us to this planet? And usually the answer will be in the form of monetary things. But I would like to take a detailed
a different answer.
Yeah, but I would like to draw your attention to a quote and read it. This is by Les Brown. The graveyard is the richest place on earth. You may be wondering, the graveyard is the richest place on earth. Why? Because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled. You will find the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, and so on, which could have been done. All because someone was too afraid to take that first step.
No.
Or determined to carry out their dream. So we all live on this planet, lead our life, and go away without sharing what we could share with the world. This is the truth. And hence, Les Brown said, the graveyard is the richest place on earth for unexplored things. Now, is it okay? Why are we afraid?
I request all the participants to please be on mute while Professor is delivering the talk.
Please think, why are we afraid to pursue our dreams or showcase our talents to the world to the fullest possible? Because some of the reasons can be there are lack of opportunities for self-awareness and exploration. We know about everything except our own self. There are habits of self-doubts, absence of motivation or right guidance and support. And the biggest reason can be that we all prefer to live in our comfort zones. If the tiger is in the zoo, he gets regular food, he's safe, he doesn't have to go for preying. It's a perfect comfort zone, but ours meant for that. So we need to develop a framework of life that is self-empowered, that suits our own talents, our own dreams in our own particular way. And that is why this SELF is there, which is this self-empowered life framework. So the title is Discover Your Self-Empowered Life Framework. And what are the steps to discover that? There are 6 steps that I have given over here, starting with self-awareness, self-exploration, self-analysis, self-development, self-empowerment, and reaching out to the stage of self-esteem. We will briefly discuss about these because this is a whole day training program workshop, but since we have hardly now 45 minutes only, so I have tried to condense it to make the best possible use of time. So these are the 6 steps, again written over there. Self-awareness, self-exploration, self-analysis, development, empowerment, and reaching to the stage of self-esteem. We'll discuss briefly each one.
Nagaraj पाठवतो साहेब पाठव.
Now, self-awareness. Dr. Deepak Chopra has said, each one of us must discover our higher self or our spiritual self to express our divinity. This is must. We are all have divinity us that is keeping us alive. Human beings we are human beings. We say we are human beings, but actually we are spiritual beings in human form, and that is our need, that we should discover our higher self. Now, can we sit on a Sunday or on a day where we have no other thing to do and take a copy and write down the answer to a question, who am I? This seems so simple. I was once a faculty with ICFAI, where I used to take classes on personality development. And in the first class, when I asked, so everybody introduced the name, place, education, and all that. 4 or 5 lines they wrote. After a few weeks, they could write few pages about themselves, and a girl wrote around 39 pages about herself. So that is the exploration that we have to do to discover our real self. Now again a quote, everyone has a purpose in life, a unique gift or a special talent to give to the world. There is something that you can do better than anyone else in the whole world, even if the smallest thing. Now we need to find what is that unique gift, that special talent that we have. And that will require to be really self-aware and exploration. Another famous quote is Kevin Chung. We must be willing to share our gifts with the world. Make the world a richer place by sharing your talent. If I know how to deliver a lecture and I am not doing, if I know how to write a poem but I am not sharing that poem with the world, I am stealing something from the world. Can we take it like that? The world doesn't just want the gifts you have to share, the world needs them. And that special talents and those special gifts we have to explore and then present it to the world. That is why we are here, to make a difference. So there are 3 elements that we have to consider in self-awareness: self-concept, self-ideal, and self-image. Self-concept will be defining who am I, what kind of a person I am, what do I have. Second stage is self-ideal. Where do I want to reach? What do I wish to become? If I want to reach here, but I don't know where I am, then the gap is not known. Suppose I have to reach Gwalior, so the route and the distance will be dependent upon where I am standing now, whether I am at Jhansi, whether I am at Delhi, or I am at Chandigarh. So self-ideal, we all say that we should have goals, but without self-concept, those goals have got no meaning. So first is defining who we are, then self-ideal, what do we want to become, and then what kind of image we project to the world. How do we want to be remembered? We all want to present a very good image. We all want favorable remarks in the minds of others when we are not there. But what are we doing for that? So these three things need to be in consonance. And for a balanced personality, we need to have the self-concept that is as honest as possible. We are telling to ourselves who we are, not to others. We tell about ourselves to others a number of times and always in better terms. But do we tell it to ourselves? So self-concept should be as honest as possible. The self-ideal should be as realistic as feasible. And self-image should be as authentic as desirable. This, if we follow this, then we can draw out all these three, and each one of us, whether a young child, a student, or a middle level person, or a 66-year-old young person like me, we all need to keep drawing this and revising it. It's not that once we have made self-concept, it is okay, because we are changing daily. We are adding something daily to our life. Our ideals, our goals may modify, and the image that we are projecting, that will also be changing. So this is a must requirement for all of us, for all ages. Now comes second stage, self-exploration. Now going a little deeper. There's a quote by Veronica Madam that by learning to explore yourself, you will naturally become the best version of yourself. And that is what is the basic purpose. That is the central idea, central mission about writing this book or making any presentations is that let us first try to become better version of ourselves. We are good, but why not be better? Or why not be the best version, not with respect to others, to respect to ourselves only. Now, let us see it ourselves in different way. We all have four dimensions, four components of self: physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. I will show it in a different way. Let us see it like this. So this is self, then physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual, four dimensions. By physical dimension is denoted by our body, which is responsible for all our actions, and it is the doing part. So this is the physical component that we have. The intellectual component is relates to our mind, about our thoughts and fears also, and it's related to our thinking. The emotional part is our social part, related to our heart. Our emotions are coming from that, and the feeling. So doing, thinking, feeling, and being. These are four things, basic components that we have. Now, are we concentrating on all the dimensions for our improvement? Often we may find that, okay, this person is looking very good, he is very handsome, very beautiful. Okay. he is strong. But we will say, although he looks very good, but mind इसका काम नहीं करता, ये पप्पू टाइप का है, इसको intellectual इसका weak है. Or sometimes physical is good, intellectual is good, the person has got a lot of degrees also, he is learned person, but he is not able to control his emotions, gets angry immediately, or he is not social enough. And the spiritual component that relates to our character, our value system, that defines the real kind of person we are. So often we may say he looks good, he is very intelligent, he is very social, but you are not able to dependent upon him because this component may be weak. So we need to understand ourselves, explore ourselves in all these dimensions in detail. Of course, time doesn't allow to go detail in each of them. But for one thing is there that we cannot ignore this element, spiritual being. We are called human beings. We are not human doings. Do we call ourselves human doing? We are human beings. And that is the real kind of person we are. And we need to define ourselves according to that. Now coming to the third step, self-analysis. Now whatever we have found, then let us try to go for analysis. I will just cut short and say two examples. One is open type personality and closed type personality. Let us try to understand it this way. There may be some people who are open type personality and closed type personality. What do we mean by that? This is our inner self that we are. Everybody in his own heart knows what he is. But outer, when we interact with others, there are different layers. जैसे प्याज की होती है ना, onion layers. So once we meet with the outside world, we interact at the physical level. Once we cross this level, then we come to the intellectual level. We share our some of the information. Then, if we are we have more proximity with the person, then we come to point of view level also. We share our point of views also, our opinions also, and we are not uncomfortable in sharing our opinions. And when we are with very close circle people, we share our feelings also. So these are different layers that we cross. Now in open type personality, there's no binding, and so external influences and feedback is coming and reaching to all levels and enriching the inner self also. Okay. Now this person is open to feedback. Now let us understand the closed type personality. This is a depiction of closed type personality. Physical level, intellectual level. Now point of view level and feelings level, there are walls created. किले की दीवार जैसे. So mental walls have been created, so you cannot penetrate the person beyond a certain limit. After this, they will say, how does it matter to you? Why should I tell you? You mind your own business. They are creating mental walls around themselves, even within family, or in social circles, or in their office places. So they feel that if they allow this to go beyond this level, then somebody will take liberty of their good nature, or somebody may exploit them, and hence they create concrete walls. Now, what happens when you create walls around yourself? Nobody can enter from here, but also you cannot also cross these walls. So you are binding yourself in a closed territory, and then you are not able to enrich yourself. Do we all agree? Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir. Totally agree.
Yeah. So now we have to explore and analyze what kind of a person we are. How much open we are to feedback. How much open we are with the within the family. Sometimes we may be very well with the son, but not with the daughter, or not with the brothers. We will not be sharing our informations. So this is one area that we need to look into. Now what happens that our own view about ourselves, how it is formed, what we know about ourselves, and what feedback we receive from others. If somebody is constantly saying, oh, you are a good person, then we also start feeling, oh, I'm a good person. So these both are important to form a real opinion about ourselves. Now what happens is that feedback is extremely important, or constant interaction with the outer world. If it is positive, we feel satisfied, and then we continue the behavior, strengthen it, and we are now more confident. If the feedback is negative, we feel disappointed, but after some introspection, we try to improve upon. So in both ways, whether it is positive or negative, it is helpful. Let us see it in this form. If the feedback is positive, we feel happy and satisfied. Okay. If the feedback is negative, we first feel unhappy, we feel disturbed, disappointed. Then the next stage is self-introspection. Where did things go wrong? How can I improve? And then we experiment with the modified behavior. May not be once, maybe more times. And after some time, once we start experimenting with it, one day we receive positive feedback. And now once we receive this positive feedback, it reinforces our self in our confidence, and we adopt it as an alternate behavior. And then hence we feel happy and satisfied. So feedback is giving us in both ways, leading us to a situation where we are more happy with ourselves. Okay. Now about development. We must have a plan for development based on the previous steps. Marco Pierre White, again I start with a quote: the self-discovery is the greatest achievement in life. Because once you discover yourself and accept what you are, then you can fulfill your true potential and be happy. Again I say, once you discover yourself and accept yourself as you are, then you are now on the stage to fulfill your own true potential and reach happiness. So this is how we need to go for self-discovery. We try to know so many things about so many people, about so many aspects daily through social media, through Google and everything, except our own self. And this is the requirement that is now most important. So starting with attitude. The first thing for development is attitude. Again a quote: what life means to us is determined not so much by what life brings to us, as much as by the attitude that we bring to life. Not so much by what happens to us as by our reaction to what happens. Now, this is something that we have to keep in mind, that how we react to things, that is more important than even the circumstances themselves. Dr. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation has been that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. The greatest discovery. By changing your attitude, you can change your life. So hence, attitude is one of the most important things that we need to concentrate upon. Then gratitude. It's said that if forgiveness is the medicine for the soul, gratitude is the vitamins. An attitude of gratitude will take you to higher altitude. Now this is my quote, but I'm not right. Attitude of gratitude for higher altitude. And this is most important thing, that we are often shy of saying thanks to others. Even within our family, we take things for granted. We are not even thankful. Then saying sorry. So let us be humble to see our mistakes, courageous to admit them, and wise enough to correct them. Humility for acknowledging our mistakes, courage for admitting them, and wise enough to correct them. And then the most important thing for self-development is decluttering. Clutter, we know, according to Vastu philosophy, any clutter in the house causes loss of shape, growth, productivity, etc., etc. So we more house also. This we all agree. There's something more to it. More kind of decluttering. I hope we have time enough. Declutter them. Those who are insincere, unhelpful, even when they are in a position to do so. Those who have no qualities that can inspire you. Those who are envious of yourself, jealous of yourself, of your progress. Those who are arrogant, egoistic, and rude, as they drain out our energy and keep testing our patience. Can we identify them? It may not be simply possible to remove all these people from our life, but at least be conscious about them. And also decluttering of our mind. Decluttering of negative feelings and thoughts. The pessimism that is preventing us from going ahead. The level of anxiety, greed, ego, unhealthy competition with others. The healthy competition is always with you yourself only. That is the healthy competition that we should always have. But not all these. So this decluttering is required. Now let's talk something about self-empowerment. Once we go through that, all these steps, now we are in a position to know ourselves better, analyze ourselves, make a development plan, and come to the position that we are able to empower, be self-empowered. So again a quote, success is the development of the power with which we get whatever one wants in life without interfering with the right of others. And what do we mean by self-empowerment? What it should be? It means that individual is in control of his or her life. He views the trial phase in life in a positive way. Empowered people are well aware of their own strengths and weaknesses. They recognize their own limits and hence they do not feel shy in seeking help, in seeking guidance from others. And hence they are more confident to attract right opportunities to them, attract right people to them. So for self-empowerment, again, knowledge. And this is endless. Knowledge is power, we all know. But it becomes power only to the extent that we organize it. It's organized, classified, and acted upon, put into action. So better thing is that knowledge is power, but knowledge is potential power. Knowledge provides you potential to act. But unless you act, it has got no meaning. And it has to be constantly updated. Swami Vivekananda ji has a very good quote on that. No action can give you freedom. Only knowledge can make you free. Knowledge is irresistible. Mind cannot take it or reject it. Once it comes, mind has to accept it. Now, this is something very important. Once you have a new knowledge, your mind is not in a position to reject it. It has to accept it. So it is not a work of the mind, but its expression comes through mind. With mind, you say, you give the effect that yes, you have got knowledge. So a very important quote by Swami Vivekananda. And that gives you more freedom. Alvin Toffler had long before said, the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. Illiterate will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Are we learning something new daily? Are we unlearning some of our bad things? Are we relearning what we are trying to forget? This we need to ask ourselves. And this should become a part of self-development plan. Stephen Covey's famous book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. You all must have heard and read also. And the seventh habit is sharpen the saw. If I had 10 hours to cut a log, I will spend 9 hours in sharpening my saw and then cut it in 1 hour. Are we sharpening our saw? Are we refreshing the knowledge that we have? Are we refreshing the behavior that we have acquired so far? This is something very important. And once we do this, we are self-empowered to draw a framework of life that will take us to the last point, and that is, before that, about health also, because nowadays, the way the difficult times we are passing through, so health is very important. And let us go by the definition given by WHO. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of a disease or any infirmity. So let us not only see it in the matter of whether someone is sick or not, diseased or not. It requires physical, mental, and social well-being also. Of course, there are different dimensions, but due to shortage of time, we will not discuss that. But one important thing is that we need to develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity and trauma. So we all are going through difficult times, but how do we bounce back from this adversity? That is what is required now, the ability to absorb shocks and revert back. Ability to produce that readiness in ourselves that we can meet unexpected challenges and crises proactively. And hence, we come to the last 6 point of self-esteem. What do we mean by self-esteem? Anybody?
Achieving the success by amending positive attitude in yourself.
Okay, very good, Lavisha ji. Of course, sometimes we find that it is similar to self-respect, but self-respect comes when we are in interaction with others. That no, I also have self-respect, my self-respect, your self-respect, like that. But self-esteem is the value we place on ourselves. हम अपनी निगाह में कैसे हैं,
आपको भी दे सकते हैं,
दूसरों की निगाह में नहीं, अपनी निगाह में. एक शायर का बहुत अच्छा शेर है कि गिर जाए हिमालय से कोई गम नहीं, गिर जाए हिमालय से कोई गम नहीं, गिर जाए ना इंसान कभी अपनी ही नजर से. So that is the thing that we have to achieve. We have to rise in our own eyes. Our own assessment of our worth should keep on increasing as a likable person, as a capable person. And that is the ultimate aim everybody should have, to have a higher self-esteem. रोज कुछ ऐसा करें जिससे हम अपने आप पर गर्व कर सकें, चाहे दूसरे उसको एक्नॉलेज करें या ना करें. Even if the world doesn't recognize ourselves, no problem. But I know in my own mind and heart that I have done something good, I have achieved something, I have done something for humanity. And that is what is enriching our self-esteem. And that is what we all must have, try to have. In human beings, joy in the mere fact of existing is a core meaning of healthy self-esteem. It's a state of one who is at war neither with self nor with others. So you are loving yourself as well as others also. So how do we build self-esteem? Do we have time, Shyamji? It's 4 o'clock. Do we have time?
Yes, we can go for another 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. So let us develop a positive attitude towards life and to ourselves. We need to set ambitious and realistic goals. Each day, at least one small step towards our goals, a proper time management, and keeping your knowledge and skills added in diverse areas of interest, not only in the way we are working. Work is important, but it is only one dimension of life. Multi-skilling, unlearning and relearning will help in that. And let us have a big bank account of relationships. This is very important. We are always bothered about our own bank balance in terms of money. But let us keep adding to our bank account of relationships. And that will enrich us and also give us opportunity to enrich others. Let us not hesitate to present our uniqueness to the world. As we started, we are all unique, and that uniqueness, world needs it. Let's have faith and patience. And lastly, let's have some daily self-affirmations which we repeat to ourselves daily, standing in front of the mirror and saying these things to ourselves. Oh. And these daily self-affirmations are: I am good, I am different, I am unique. Three things. I am good, I am different, I am unique. And I will try to make a difference to the world by our presence. क्योंकि दुनिया हमारे बाद भी रहने वाली है, दुनिया हमसे पहले भी थी. How I should be remembered? How
Can you go to the previous slide?
Yes, please.
Can you go to the previous slide? Right.
Sorry. This one?
Yeah, I've done. I've checked. Fine, sir.
So thank you very much to all the learned participants. I am honored by your presence, especially Professor Olga Madam from all the way from accepting my request from Moscow State University. She is a Deputy Dean in the Faculty of Global Studies and a very nice human being also. And to all learned participants, MK Jain sir, Team MMA, Shyamji and Team GMA and everybody. Thank you very much. And I would love to have your comments and for enrichment of myself also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Your presentation was really very good and motivational. And I hope it will be definitely beneficial for all the participants. Now it is the time for the participants to ask their queries. So if anyone having any query, they can write it in the chat box or they can ask it also. If any participant is having any query, anyone wants to ask anything.
Khatri sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
During your presentation, you said that normally we create an mental wall within ourselves. And then these mental walls are so deeply penetrated that we ourselves are not able to penetrate into our inner self.
Yes, yes.
And but then is it because of the external environment we work with, whether we are in the office or family or social background and all? Sometimes we find that the external environment is so difficult for us that we have to create those inner walls so that nobody can enter.
Yes,
so
yes.
how do we ensure that our walls are they destroy over a period of time?
Thank you, Dr. Saab. These walls are created right from childhood, sir. Right from childhood, we start creating these walls, and not because of ourselves. Sometimes, as you mentioned, because of the environment that the child is facing. If he or she is in a cruel environment or constantly being neglected, then he starts creating shells around himself and starts feeling that, no, I should not interact with others because others are better than me. I will fail and my parents will rebuke me. And that goes throughout life, that we create walls. And we have all seen bosses who are so having such walls that they don't allow you any liberty because they have faced similar situations with their own bosses. So the external environment does produce these kind of walls, but then if we need to remove these walls, it is only through constant interaction with the outer world. Now interact with ourselves. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And how do I learn from others? So as I said in the next slide, that the impact of feedback is very important in developing our own view about ourselves. So that will be of help.
Right, sir. Thanks a lot.
So on behalf of entire Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Management College family, Meerut Management Association, and I am thankful to you, sir, for conducting this virtual session and giving your valuable time. Now I invite Dr. Garima Mathur from Gwalior Management Association for the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. At an outset, the speech was actually motivational, insightful, impeccable. Thank you so much, Jagdish sir. It was nice to hear you, and you have actually given such insightful things into your speech that there are many things we don't care about. So I am really thankful that you draw our attention towards this. And along with this, I am also thankful to all the management association members from MMA as well as from GMA, all the office bearers who took this responsibility to spread good things in the society. And I'm also thankful to my teacher, Dr. Manoj Patwardhan, because he has always motivated me to take part in such activities. Along with this, I'm also thankful to Mr. Shyam Agrawal. He contacted me again and then he asked me to be part of this once again. I'm really thankful to him also. And I would like to thank all the participants from India, from different parts of India, as well as overseas. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, M.K. Jain, sir. Namaskar.
Once again, Dr. Jagdish, a heartfelt thanks on behalf of Meerut Management Association and Gwalior Management Association. It was a wonderful session, and we wish us speedy recovery from your wife. And also, let me inform you that this entire session will be soon available on my YouTube channel. So probably those who have missed the session can go ahead and check it on my YouTube channel. Thank you once again for joining in. Thank you, Dr. Jagdish, for this special event. A heartfelt thanks.
Thank you. Namaskar to everyone. Thank you.